Hello there. Dr. Bill Crawford here, psychologist, speaker, author of 8 books, host of 2 PBS specials, here again to bring you another tip on how to help you create the life you want. Specifically, how to use my life from the top of the mind philosophy to bring more clarity, confidence, creativity into everything you do. Today, I want to talk about 2 more tools to creating the life we want. What are the things I like to do when I'm doing my seminars, talking with individuals, psychologists, a speaker, seminar leader, is not only to kind of give people information on what's going on, specifically the neuroscience of kind of why we find ourselves reacting and being the way thinking the way we do, but really tools. I call it clarity about the what, the why, and the how. What's really getting in the way of our clarity, confidence, and creativity? Why, and this is where the neuroscience comes in, and then some real specific models, things people can do immediately to make a difference in their life. So I want to give you 2 tools today that are backed by science. The first one has to do with affirmation of personal values. Now, we've got to be a little bit careful with this one because for those of you who are old enough to remember Stuart Smalley, which is an Al Franken character on Saturday Night Live, Stuart Smalley had affirmations by Stuart Smalley, like, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. Like if we just say that to ourselves over and over and over, somehow that will improve our life. And of course, affirming that versus, boy, there's something wrong with me. I'll never be, good enough. Nobody loves me. I'm going to die alone, become a bag lady. Someone's going to steal my bag. It's going to be terrible. Versus that is better, but it's not just kind of trying to say I'm good enough and I'm smart enough. Because have you noticed sometimes in the back of our mind, little voices going bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. So what we want to do is make that more powerful. And here's how we make that more powerful. It's what I encourage people to do to make that more powerful. We create a list of 20 qualities or characteristics of us at our best. These aren't necessarily skills, they're qualities, characteristics like the sense of humor and caring and adventuresome and passionate and a good listener, things like that. So you want to make a list. And if you're having trouble coming up with 20, because a lot of people go 20, I might be able to do 7 or 8, but 20. The idea of doing 20 is kind of overwhelming this middle brain where we kind of form our sense of who we are, our sense of value. And unfortunately, a lot of us have grown up with negative images or messages that we've adopted as beliefs about ourselves and the world. So if you have this list of 20 qualities or characteristics of who you are, it's hard to read that list and not feel like there's a reason that you can have confidence in who you are. There's a reason someone's going to be lucky to be in a relationship with you. There's a reason some organization is going to be lucky to have you as part of their organization. So it begins to rewire this middle brain, the limbic system, which is where data comes in first. My life from the top of the mind philosophy talks about 3 parts of the brain. Upper part of the brain is called the neocortex, what I call the top of the mind. Middle brain is the limbic system. Lower brain is the brainstem. When this limbic system, brainstem, middle brain, lower brain are kind of in charge, it's basically a fear-based perspective on life. Because in the past, this middle brain and lower brain have used fear of dangerous things happening as a way of staying safe. And a long time ago in our evolution, things were dangerous and we needed to be on guard and worried about what was going on. These days, worry and fear often just get in our way, but trap us in this lower brain. So what I show people how to do is to actually shift from the lower brain to the upper brain and actually change the chemical makeup of their body from adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol to serotonin and endorphins, chemicals that help us feel better and think clear by my life from the top of the mind system. And one of those is really getting clear about our own worth and value so that we know the qualities and characteristics we want to bring to life. So one of the tools that I'm going to encourage you to create is this list so that you know your own value. The next tool comes from a quote that I love that says, we are what we repeatedly do. See, what we repeatedly do really defines who we are. So if you make this list of 20 qualities or characteristics and then read this list at least 3 times a day, I encourage people to start in the morning when you wake up before you do anything else. Look at your list of qualities or characteristics, read through it, and then choose 2 or 3 qualities or characteristics that you want to bring to the morning, just the morning. How do I want to be? Who do I want to be this morning? So we're going into the morning practicing being this way. That means we're going into life already in the top of the mind versus going into life worried or stressed or even neutral. It's a more powerful perspective. Then around lunchtime, I encourage people to, all right, take a moment. Stephen Covey calls it the pause button, 15, 30 seconds, doesn't take long. Maybe take a deep breath, whatever. Ask yourself the question, all right, what are the qualities and characteristics I want to bring into the afternoon? I know some of the people I'm going to be dealing with, some of the situations I'm going to be in. Who do I want to be? So you go into the afternoon clear about your highest purpose. That's what I call this. So you're going into the afternoon practicing these qualities or characteristics, because anything we practice, we get good at. We are what we repeatedly do. Then sometimes around the drive home or sometime between the afternoon and the evening, supper time, whatever, stop. Look at your list and say, all right, what are the qualities and characteristics I want to bring to the evening? Who do I want to be with the most important people in my life? People that I love the most and who love me the most. So these two tools, knowing who we are and making a list of that, has been shown in a journal called Psychological Science to actually mitigate the production of cortisol, mitigate our stress response in a way that allows us to be more effective. Just knowing that. Then putting that into practice. We are what we repeatedly do. Practicing this 3 times a day for, say, a couple of months. We want to give ourselves time to create these new neural pathways, going from the middle brain to the upper 80% of the brain versus that middle brain down to the lower brain. And we do that by focusing on who we are at our best and bringing that to life, and focusing and practicing and focusing and practicing. If you'd like to try this, I encourage you to give it a try, give it a couple of months. Hey, we're going to be alive 2 months later anyway. Why not be really good at this perspective in life, where we know who we are, we're bringing that to life in a way that is really meaningful. If this is meaningful to you, I would encourage you to give it a try. And if these videos are meaningful to you, I would encourage you to like them. You know how Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn love it when you like it. Share it with your friends if you feel it would be valuable to them. I try to post one every week. And if you would like me to come to your organization, teach you the life from the top of the mind system, so that you and your colleagues are kind of bringing your best to life on a regular basis, this is what I love to do. Just go to my website, crawfordphd.com, hit the contact button, let me know what you're interested in. Love to talk with you about that. In the meantime, here's to you, bring more clarity, confidence, creativity into everything you do. And I look forward to seeing you again in the future.